Plan what you're going to say. Do not step on stage and make it up as you go along. Oh my goodness me. I'm going to tell you a story today about the first time I spoke with a microphone on a stage and how I thought I would be able to wing it because I'm a confident person. I kind of have an idea of what I'm going to talk about. It'll be fine. Let me tell you, it was not. Welcome to the Speaker Toolkit. If this is your first time here, my name is Gemma Ann Barnes and my goal with this series is to help female speakers become more confident, become clearer and become absolutely insanely powerful when they use their voice, when they use their energy and speak on stages in a public environment. So whether that's an online masterclass or webinar or a real life in-person stage or platform of any kind, I want you to feel unwavering confidence and unstoppable power in your voice and in the way that you show up so that you can inspire your audience, so that you can have a positive impact on every single person in that room and deliver your powerful message. So this episode today, I am going to be sharing my story. My first big fail of speaking on a microphone. And I'm sharing this so that you don't have to go and make this mistake. Because I have come across clients or potential clients in the past. I've had one or two clients come to me and say, right, this is kind of what I'm going to talk around. I feel like I just want to go on and wing it and see what happens. Now, this is what I did back in the day. I'm taking you back quite a few years now, back to, I think it was probably about 2010, 2011, something like that. When I stepped on stage for the first time, I had a handheld microphone. I was wearing this purple dress and I stepped on stage to speak. 19, 20-year-old me thinking, I'm confident. Like, I know what I'm going to be talking about. I've got a rough idea. I don't need to practice it, have like, you know, talking points or a script or anything to go from. Like, I've kind of got an idea. I'm just going to go with the flow and see what happens. I'll be fine. I can ad-lib. Well. I did ad-lib. I did make it up as I went along. I did get some laughs, probably not for the right reason. I got a lot of awkward energy coming back at me. When I walked off the stage after speaking on the microphone, when at the time I was talking and I was thinking, Gemma, we really should have planned something. I don't know why we just decided to just talk for the sake of talking. I should have planned something. Next time around, I'm going to have to plan something. My mind wasn't in the moment. My mind wasn't on what I was talking about. My mind was already thinking like, oh goodness, we need to be off this stage. We need to leave. But my mouth just ran away with me. And it's a little bit like, and I'm sure at some point you've been in this environment, whether it's you yourself that has done this, or you know somebody that just isn't comfortable in the silences. Maybe you're having a conversation, you're in a group conversation or a one-to-one conversation with somebody and the conversation stops. And you feel like you have to keep speaking, you have to fill it with something else. You can't just end it there or politely remove yourself because you don't know what the other person's then going to be thinking about you and you don't want to leave an awkward silence. We've been there, right? This same thing was happening to me on stage. I was just talking and talking so that there wasn't this silence, so that I couldn't feel people's energy thinking, what is she's going around in circles, what is she talking about? Awkward laughing. When I left that stage, I told myself, okay, lesson learned. We will never, ever, ever step on stage and not think or prepare what we are going to talk about ever again. And the reason why I wanted to share this with you is because I really don't want to put you in that same situation. Now, I was 19, I was 20 years old. I think I was really blonde at the time as well, like my hair was really blonde. And so after stepping off stage, I know, because I heard whispers and like people having conversations from backstage, I could hear people saying like, oh, she's young, like she'll get there. But I don't want you to have to be in that situation. So always, always, always think about what you're going to be talking about. Think about what you're going to say and plan it. Like, actually plan it. But, you know, there's this nonsense thing, especially in the entrepreneur world, where it's like, well, move, go, go, go. Yeah, go, go, go. Definitely. But what I want you to do first is make sure, there's Gus, that's my dog. What I want you to do first is make sure you actually know what direction you're heading in. This is why I always ask my one-to-one clients, the first question I ask them is, how do you want your audience to feel? What do you want your audience to feel? That is your end destination. And then you can work out the way you're going when you get there. If you haven't thought about what you're talking about or what your goal or your aim is by the end of your speech, by the end of your talk, by the end of your presentation, is it that you want people to, you know, you want to have raised awareness? You want people to now be aware of what you're talking about? Is it that you want people to see what's possible for them? Is it that you want people to feel alive, like reignite the fire inside of them? Is it that you want them to see something that they probably haven't seen, like show them a new way? Whatever it is that your end goal is, however you want your audience to feel, that gives you a direction. This is why you have to think about your speech before you go and do it. Same with what you're going to talk on. Because otherwise you can step out onto that stage and either nerves, adrenaline, excitement, you know, overwhelm will just take over you. And then you end up either, like I did, talking in circles and not really having a point, or you completely miss what you want to say because you didn't plan it, you didn't practice it, you didn't prepare it. So yes, move, get on those stages, get speaking in public, practice, get that, you know, in you. But think about what you're doing before you do it. Like, put the bike together before you ride it. Put the saddle on the horse and the reins on the horse before you get on and go into a canter when you've never ridden a horse before. Yeah? I talk about horses because horses are my favourite animal. I used to horse ride from like the age of 6 years old to about 16. I went horse riding every Saturday morning. I have promised myself that for my 40th birthday, I'm going to buy myself a horse. That's why horses are like one of the first things that come into my head. People say it's like riding a bike. To me, I'm like, oh, it's like riding a horse. And I feel a lot safer on a horse. I fall off a bike. Oh, every time I've been on a bike in the last 10 years, I have fallen off. So that's why. Back to my point. Have what you're talking about. You can bring, like I just did, you can bring parts of you into it. And this is why, if you go back and you watch, I'll put the link below in the comments. If you go back and you watch my episode on talking points versus a script, this is why I say have talking points over a script, so that if you do want to go slightly off on a tangent, or you want to bring a bit of you in that you didn't include, or there's a part that you're like, the audience just isn't feeling this, I'm going to jump past this section. It allows you to do that rather than being so strictly on your, you know, in your script and having to deliver every single path, every single word, every single phrase, you know, along the pathway. So this is exactly why you really, really need to think about what you're going to say before you step on stage to do it. I highly, highly recommend having an idea of what you're going to say, thinking about it, planning it, preparing it, and practicing it. Get used to talking around your talking points. Get used to adding bits of your personality in, and feel the energy of the room. And that's something that will come the more and the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. But the main reason I wanted to share this with you today and really highlight preparing your speeches and not just winging it, is so that you don't feel the awkwardness that myself and that audience, that entire room felt the first time I went on stage and had a microphone in my hands. And so that you can learn from my mistakes. So the whole point of this series is, yes, I'm teaching you the things to do. I'm giving you as much knowledge and wisdom as I have from the last 15, 14 years. But also, I am sharing mistakes that I made so that you don't have to make the same ones. Because trust me, it was uncomfortable. Luckily, 19-year-old me really, really didn't care. And thank goodness for that. But still, we learn, we grow. But you can now learn from past that mistake, past that stage. Now, if you've got any questions about public speaking, about using your powerful voice and getting your message out there, I am on a mission to help more female speakers, highly influential women, step on stages, speak on stages, and deliver their message, deliver their powerful work to the rest of the world. Now, if that is you and you've got a question that you want me to feature in this YouTube series, so inside of the Speaker Toolkit, if there is a specific question you have about your voice, about being on stage, about performance, about preparing yourself, anything at all to do with speaking, being a female speaker, then ask me in the comments below and I will share an episode just for you. And if you are interested in working together, then the link is in the comments as well. As always, go, step on stages, get yourself out there, get uncomfortable, use your voice, and I will see you in the next episode.